Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cinemondo with Kathy and Lara.
Hello.
We want to jump right in because Rorschach just came out on streaming, so we're now able to actually all go see it. We weren't able to see it before because America. So we watched Rorschach. We just watched
Yeah.
it. Just finished watching it, both of
Like
us.
I watched it today. It was fantastic.
So good. I love a good, like, kind of trippy kind of crime thriller.
Oh yeah.
We'll get
I
into
had
it.
no idea what was going on for the first 45 minutes.
I was like, what is it? So it's directed by Nissam Basheer. This is his second film.
Mm-hmm.
He did another film, I think, I haven't seen it yet, but it sounds really hard hitting. I think it's another kind of crimey, it's Malayalam, which makes the kind of gritty, cool, edgy kind of movies, which I really am starting to really, really like. I mean, the South Indian stuff's great. It stars Mammootty, who is a huge star and massive. And so it's cool to see a huge star who doesn't have to dress it down, get kind of a smaller film.
Right? Yeah.
Kind of choice. He wasn't glamorous at all.
No. Not even like a tad bit.
No.
Fine.
This big Hollywood dude, and he's super good looking, but his posture is all kind of caved in a little bit.
Hunched over. And yeah. It was very interesting to see him in that kind of not glamorous role.
No.
Yeah.
And it was raining and kind of dreary the whole time. So, everybody always looked kind of wet and sweaty all the time. And, everyone looked a little bit miserable.
Was it supposed to be hot? I mean, it was, but I'm just saying.
I know, right? Yeah. So it opens. It's an interesting open because it just kind of throws you right in. So you just see this guy walking down the street.
Yes.
Okay. Then he goes into a police station and goes, my wife is missing. There's an accident. And then they go and they find the red car, but there's no wife. And they're like, well, where is she? So then you're kind of thinking, okay, I've seen enough crime shows. What happened here? I don't know. Police just say she was killed by a tiger and probably dragged off. I mean, this basically.
You're like, Jesus.
Which actually does happen. I mean, I was in India. I went on a tiger trek. And so we saw a lot of tigers, and they're pretty close to some of the villages because, there's not.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
Tigers are recovering and they're running out of territory. So there's getting to be a little bit of human conflict with tigers. So it's a little bit of a balancing act because it's really good money for tourism, but it's also dangerous for people because, tigers are hardcore. And the poachers, let alone poachers, the criminal element comes in. But anyway, I digress. So Tiger did nothing to do with this, by the way. Innocent. Tiger did not commit this crime. So he becomes obsessed. Like, he can't find her. It's in the wilderness. It's like in the middle of nowhere, right? So they find a slipper. They just find like one little piece of her. So he knows she's been there. But we never see her, right?
No,
we never see her.
Ever.
So the police finally go, dude, you can't just live on this wilderness refuge. You're just making us look bad. Just, no,
right.
Got to do something. Then this guy, where did he come from? This guy just kind of comes out of nowhere and goes, you could buy my house.
I don't understand. I don't know.
Was it not the creepiest house you've ever seen?
Yes. I'm like, this is a murder house. I get it.
I mean, it didn't look really finished, or I couldn't tell if it just been left empty a long time.
It looked like it was just we'll circle back to it because I thought that it was the flashback house.
Oh,
just old and decrepit, no one, after I didn't understand, but
yeah, because it was just it was the middle of nowhere, and it was just really. They made it look really desolate. I mean, maybe, who knows if it was a nice house or not. It probably was once upon a time, maybe.
An ornate house at some point, but not now.
Just gray. Everything's gray and rainy and miserable. So, and by the way, people, spoilers. And before we go further, be sure and like, subscribe, and comment. And please join our membership because you get lots of fun stuff. And you get to talk to Lara. She'll talk to you anytime.
Yes.
With our Slack channel.
Anytime.
You can't just call her. You can talk to her on the Slack channel. But you have access to a lot of us there directly. A lot of other members. There's lots of fun talk about trailers, and people suggest cool movies to watch. And this is one of the ways we found this movie. So then part of me is like, as we're watching this, and let's just give a little shout out to some of the supporting cast who were also freaking great because nobody felt like they were on the level. No, not one person.
Agreed.
I mean, the guy you bought the house from, shady. Like what?
You just gave him a box of money.
I know that's
and
funny. It's like just a cardboard box. Here you go.
Literally a cardboard box of money.
It was so funny. And then he just kind of takes off, leaves his wife and kid. Just, I'm out of here. I'm going to my other family. I'm taking this money with me. Just puts a box on his bike and heads out.
Yeah, but then like, why did he dump the bike in the river? I'm so confused. Like, why go on foot?
Yeah, that was weird. Unless he just didn't want anyone to find it, or was he trying to fake his death or something so his wife wouldn't look for him?
Oh, maybe that could be
it. That could be it. So another great side character is Sita, who's portrayed by Bindu Panikkar. She was amazing because she was super strong and like really like not the kind of like wallflower a lot of the women are in some of these movies. Like she was kind of badass.
And you like didn't understand like what she was up to until like, I don't know, 3/4 of the way into the movie and you're like, oh.
Yeah. She becomes major in this, like major player. Like you just think, oh, she's just one of the side characters. And, you know, she has these sons who are a little like kind of a waste also. Like basically they just commit crimes for her. So she's like, go commit crimes and help support the family. And they're like, okay.
And like, was the business, I'm very confused about the business. Was that
the cashew factory? So yeah, we have the sons who are committing crimes to their mother. We have the shady guy who sold a house to our main character, Luke, who's Mammootty.
Was that their house? I was trying to like follow the story. So that was like
the son. It's confusing. It's the
who died.
The third son.
Yeah.
Who died. There were a lot of accidents in this movie. Everybody's just getting in accidents. It was very strange. I don't know what happened. But the coolest part was when he got in that house, things got really good. Like he started seeing things and it was very creepy. And he even sat on that couch. It was almost like he was looking for this guy.
Well,
he had the mask, right?
But yeah, right.
It's very
he did, and he had it on, right? For like a split second.
I love when he was sitting on the couch just kind of waiting. I'm like, what's he waiting for?
I like at first thought it was like the wife. I couldn't figure out what was going on. And then it dawned on me what was happening.
Exactly.
And I was like, okay. But like, so he was, but then I couldn't figure out why he was like appearing only at like random times until like the very end. And I was like, God damn it.
And then at the end, I mean, you know, we can talk about this too. It's that unreliable narrator thing, like how much of this was real or not real. Like I'm never really sure because a lot of people were getting thrown around hurt in that house.
Yes.
But I couldn't tell if the house was actually real. The whole thing by the end of it, because we have the white room thing. Remember the white room? He ends up kind of in it. It looked like an asylum.
We don't believe any of the story.
No.
But then I'm like, who got arrested? Like, wasn't that a real thing? Like, I
don't know. It was all very confusing, but the thing is the guy Mahmood makes it so believable. He's so put upon. He feels he's always got a plan. There's like a million wheels turning in this guy's head. He's got all kinds of agendas. Like he's got vengeance. He's got greed. He's trying to get back at the, vengeance, I guess, get back. He tracks down the guy's wife, the widow, and then marries her.
I know.
And then it's like taunting the ghost. Like, look, I slept with your wife. Are you mad? Like he wanted to bring the guy out.
I know. I was like, this is the weirdest thing.
And she's kind of like, really? Is that what this is? So she's starting to find this out. She finds out her ex-husband was into all this criminal activity and doing all this shit. Yeah. So she's kind of like, I hate him. I don't want to even remember him. She was kind of like missing him for a while. And now she's like, I'm over it. I don't want to
do with him.
Burns down the factory he built.
Which was insane.
So, I know. I was like, maybe not that.
Maybe the workers needed somewhere to go.
People worked there, and that seemed very selfish.
Yeah, maybe don't burn it down, but that's cool. It's great.
It's crazy.
A lot of burnt cashews.
A lot. I probably smelled really good burning.
Roasted peanut. Roasted cashews probably smelled great.
We're terrible. But then the Bindu Panikkar, Sita. She has that great scene at the end where she's all like trying to be all badass. So that's right. I'm gonna get my son to take care of you, and he easily dispatches everyone. It's like, bye. No, not gonna happen. And she runs away, and then she She gets her due. It was, I mean, it almost seemed at that point I was so confused by what was real and not real. I wasn't even sure if there were actually any crimes.
That was actually happening.
And we may be thinking too hard about it. It could just be this guy looking for revenge, and there was a ghost. And I love the look of the ghost. I like he had that creepy mask, but he just dressed kind of normal and stood there looking at you like,
yeah,
that was very cool. I really liked that. He throwing people around. That was really fun.
It was interesting that they like titled this movie.
Yes, the Rorschach thing too. Like,
but I get it. I guess I don't know.
And is butterfly
reality's interpretation? I don't know.
It's like psychological problems, which the guy obviously had. So at the end, I think we had that big shot of him in the white room, and the guy, and he goes, "Oh, you're back," and he kind of gives you that look, and you're like, "So, part 2, anyone?"
So what's happening?
Cliffhanger. We have a cliffhanger, everyone. But I love the music too. They had these English rock songs, kind of, and that was really cool. And then they had this, even though it was kind of gritty and rainy, they had this kind of weird, oddly modern music, like very electronic. And it gave us such a cool feel. Malayalam films are so cool. They're just not what you expect ever. They're always like doing something new.
No, I really appreciate them because they're just, it's like they're just always trying something different.
Yep.
And I like it. Yep.
So good. So anyway, I highly recommend this film. Easily to find on Hulu. It's in 4 different languages. Hulu's so good about that. Well, maybe it's this film too, but there are a bunch of different languages, subtitled, easy to get to. So I suggest anyone, this is super fun, new way to see crime kind of movie.
This was a great, great film.
Really, really good. So highly recommended.
Yes. 2 thumbs up.
So thank you for joining us. Be sure and let us know what you think of Rorschach. You can get it just about anywhere now. It just came out. And thank you, Ken, for telling us to watch this movie, because I'm so glad I did. It was so good. So, and also check out our trailer reaction if you want to see more of that. So, we'll catch you guys next time.
Bye. Was that the first? So she was married to the brother.
What?
Amelia.
What did you say?
Stop. Can you go downstairs for 5 minutes?
We could do it. We only got 5 minutes.
Take it down to Daddy.
On her off on her dad.